A very good afternoon to all of you. So we are again back with our session of interview skills. Many people have up the scholars in their education. They have received good certification. All the things are there, but somewhere when they go for an interview, they are unable to crack that interview. They are unable to get good results from the interview, the appointment letter. Why? And when they come out of the hall, they are into a very big dilemma that why we were not hired. The reason is the way you presented yourself, the way you have sold yourself to the interviewer, something was missing in that. Many times people even fail to present themselves, to speak properly. They are unable to speak, they are unable to introduce themselves properly. Why? Why that thing happened? The reason for that thing is either people are not well prepared, or they don't know what to answer, how to answer. The question looks to be very small when we talk about who you are, or tell me something about you. The question looks to be very, very small, but the answer to this carries everything. Today we'll just focus again on tell me about you, how you can present yourself, how you can give an attractive answer for this thing. They know everything, they have read everything, but they want you to describe yourself, they want you to tell about yourself. So we are going to discuss today about one of the most important questions of the interview. The basic question, the first question, no matter with how many rounds you pass on in the organization, there may be 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, 4 round, no matter how many rounds are there. But this question is something which in one organization, maybe all 4 different people taking your interview can ask. You need to have a same answer for this question. You cannot keep on changing the answer. So how to present yourself, how to answer this when an interviewer asks you about this. So tell me about yourself. Who are you? People usually say, who are you? I'm Sakshi. My name is this. I have done my graduation. I've done my graduation in this field. I am a company secretary, or I'm B.Tech with this much of CGPA. I'm working with this company, and I have taken this project. The interview doesn't look good, right? It doesn't look good. What if you have a flow in your words which you're speaking? We'll be discussing that also. First, see how to present a good answer to tell me about yourself. The interviewer won't jump to level difficult. They are experienced enough to handle all type of interviews. So the first question is normally to make the person comfortable. That doesn't mean that the answer isn't considered. Definitely this question is to make you comfortable, to start with the very basic, with the zero level for the interview. But the answer to this question is considered. On basis of this answer, you are taken to the next round of interview. If you aren't confident in answering this, if you hesitate in answering this question, you are rejected right there, no matter how long the interview goes. But yes, you are already having negative points. So make sure you are well prepared for this answer before you start searching your job. This question is something which is started in the beginning when you start your career till the last job which you will be doing. All the job, no matter how many years of experience you carry, no matter how many years of knowledge, how much good you are, what position you are holding, what designation you are holding, But this is something each and every person is going to ask you. Who are you? Tell me something about you. So you need to be thorough with the answer. You need to present yourself so that you create a very good and effective, everlasting everlasting first impression. There are various ways which people use to introduce themselves. Now, what are they really asking? When they are asking you about this question, what are they really asking? After all, you have known yourself for many years. However, if you go into this without any preparation, then all those years won't count for much. You know yourself better, but still you need to frame them. It is as simple as I know the ingredients of making a yummy, delicious cake, but till the time you don't practice, you cannot give the best. Because as simple as I know the recipe of making any of the dish, for example, I know the recipe of making chili garlic potato, but till the time, until and unless you don't prepare it, practically you don't prepare it, your knowledge is a waste. Same way, you might be knowing about you in detail and you know about yourself better than any other person, but without any preparation, without forming that into a small sentence in a small paragraph, an introduction of 1 or 1.5 minutes, 30, 60 to 90 seconds, that won't, those years, your knowledge about you won't count for much. By asking this question, the interviewer usually intends to know things beyond the resume. He don't want to know whatever you have written in the resume. We want to know the things beyond that. Beyond that means maybe it can be some of your specific hobby. It can be some of your specialized skill. It can be something which you are learning, which you are preparing. It can be something really which you have achieved in your life, but that cannot be added in your resume. There can be so many things which you have achieved in your life, but you cannot put all of them in your resume. They want to know all those things. Prepare well for this question and answer smartly. It would be better if you give a quick but well-defined summary of your background. Now, background here means from where you belong, what is your name, what is your educational qualification, what is your professional experience, how many years of experience do you hold, then telling about that experience, telling anything specific about your past experience. That is how you need to define yourself. Some clues to answer smartly is talk about your professional self precisely. Be precise when you are talking about your professional self. Professional self includes your professional designation, whatever you have done in your professional career in past years. Don't go into your whole life story. See, those interviewers are not here to listen to your life story. They are here to know about you, but not in depth. Just a briefing, just the important things which are related to the job description, which are going to suit their job role for which they are going to hire you. So don't go into your whole life story. Talk about your achievement and strengths. You need to talk about your own achievements, your own strengths which you have achieved over the period of years. Indulge in specifics, but don't read your resume. You're not supposed to read your resume. You're not supposed to rectify and speak out your resume. You are supposed to speak important things which may not be included in your resume. The 4 essential tip on answering, tell me about you, is first is keep it professional and brief. What does that mean? Keep it professional and brief. What all things you need to include when you talk about keep it professional and brief? What all things we are going to include when we are keeping it professional? One thing, it is not that difficult. So keeping it professional and brief here means try to keep it under 60 to 120 seconds, being very precise. Saying 1 or 2 minutes looks very small, but when we say 60 seconds to 120 seconds, we see, yes, we have enough time. And believe me, that time is more than sufficient for you to explain about yourself, to brief about yourself. So keep it professional and brief. Practice, but don't memorize. Make sure you are practicing that thing, but we'll go in detail with the first one, that is keep it brief and professional. So make sure you are completing that in just 60 to 120 seconds. They don't care about which kindergarten you went, how many schools you have changed, in which college you have studied, why you went to that college, how you selected that college, what struggle you have faced while you were doing that, what confusion you were having, how you decided to start your career in this specific field. They are not interested in knowing these things when they are talking about, tell me about yourself. They're not interested in knowing how was your first internship experience, how that internship went on, or what you studied in your high school, or from where you did your high schooling, or why did you change your school? Why did you change your place? In which coaching institute you went? They are not interested in knowing any of these points. Stick to main selling points that are relevant for the job. Stick to the things which are relevant for the job description which is given, which is relevant to the designation for which they are interviewing you. If you feel interviewer is getting distracted, you should take that as a sign that he might be saying that it's a time up to wrap up. So when you think that he is getting distracted, he is simply avoiding, now he's no more interested, that interest he is losing in listening to you, take it as a sign to wind up, and wherever you are, just speak the last 2 lines of your introduction and wind it up right there. Second point says, practice but don't memorize. My name is Sakshi. I am memorizing. Let's take the example of memorizing. My name is Sakshi. I am currently working as a master trainer, and I am having 6 years of experience in training. I was earlier working into XYZ organization for 3 years. Then I was working into YZ organization for 1 year. And before that, I was working into ABC Limited for 2 years. I have completed my master's in MBA. I have completed my CS executive examination. And that is all about me. Thank you. Did it look good? So boring. Even I didn't took more than 60 seconds, but still it was looking like, what the hell? Come on, please stop. That is the effect of memorizing. You have rectified what you have to speak. So when you're rectifying and when you're speaking, the expressions, the emotions, the gestures, your body language, nothing is going to support you until and unless you don't bring out that feeling in your introduction. This question is something which you are going to hear every time. You cannot go ahead without answering this question. Whenever you go for an interview, you have to face this question. So practice your answer. Do a quick mock interview standing in front of the mirror, maybe with, sorry. Yeah. Maybe you can stand in front of the mirror. You can practice that, or you can practice that with any of your friend who is experienced in that field. So with this, you are going to gain confidence. You will check how you are speaking when you're presenting yourself. So it is very important to practice that rather than memorizing your introduction. but don't memorize it, because if you forget anything, you might mess up the entire answer. Be ready with the outline. Know that what are the first, second, third point, how I'm going to go with the flow. That is okay. Like you are going to start with your name, then you'll be saying the your hometown, then you'll start with your professional introduction, like what you have done currently, what you're doing, then you'll be going in the reverse order, then you'll jump to your qualification, educational qualification, that also you'll be starting in the you will start with the latest one and then going into the reverse order. Then you will tell something about your hobbies, your interest, your skills, your strength, and then you will wind up. Having this outline is okay. If you have this outline, that is good. But what you're going to speak, for that, rectifying that thing is not a good idea. If you forget anything, you might mess up your entire answer. Be ready with the outline of what you are going to say, not ready with the rectification of the content, what you're going to say. Know your audience. Know your interviewer. Who you are talking to. Is he the HR, the CEO, the CTO, the CMO, hiring manager, business manager? Who is he? Because accordingly, you are going to present yourself. If he belongs from a technical field, if he's going to be your team leader, and he's also into the technical field, you can use technical words. But if he is in HR, he's not aware about the technical field. And if you are telling him about, I know Java, I know C++, I have worked on this, I did this project, not helpful. He or she won't even understand what you're trying to speak. So make sure you are adjusting your interview as for the person with whom you are talking. If you are a software engineer and you are being interviewed by an HR, remember you are a software engineer and your interview is being taken by HR management, and you start going on and on about how much you love coding, you have practically did those things, you have information about all different languages, Java, C++, you have practically lost them. They're not aware about what you're speaking, and you have simply lost their connection. So HR don't know anything about coding. He just expected a generic answer about you and your career. For example, here, the introduction, being a software engineer, the introduction could have been more precise using, hi, I am Mr. Aryan, and I am a software engineer. I have been working as a software engineer from last 5 years. Currently, I am working with ABC Limited as a senior software engineer. I have completed my BTech in the year, in whichever year you have completed, you can say. And I'm carrying experience of 6 years in the software industry. I'm very passionate, dedicated, hardworking person. I am open to learn new things, and I belong from the city of, I belong from Pink City, that is Jaipur. The introduction could have been as simple as this. These things she or he will understand. The HR person is going to understand these things, but coding, languages, that is not her or his part, so they won't understand. So make sure you know your audience before introducing yourself. See, if you are going to introduce yourself to your family, how you introduce yourself? You say your name and you say which family, like your father's name, your grandparents' name, your surname, from where you belong, right? You don't say educational qualification over there, right? Because you know what that other person might not know. Same way when you're talking to an HR, make your interview generic. Don't make it specifically precise, in depth, related to your own stream. The last one says, remember WAP, work, academic, and personal. You have to include all these things. Now here, work commutes to 80% of your interview, academic from 10 to 15%, and personal is 5 to 10%. That is the final one, the last thing which you say, and you wind up your interview. All these things should be done within 60 to 120 seconds. Any doubts, Celia? Okay. If you don't have any doubts, let's move towards some answers. This is a simple incorrect answer. Like, well, I have always been interested in tech, but it all probably started when I was a kid, and at the age of 9, I first got my computer. I always loved playing around with code and learning new things. But it wasn't until the high school where I first had my first class about it that really made me fall in love with the subject. Since I started learning more about it and decided to major into IT at University X, where I learned how to work. Is it the introduction or his history of the life? History. Nothing good is there in this type of introduction. When you started, why that thought came, what you did in your higher education, from which university you have done your IT, no one is interested. They want to know your professional, personal background, professional, that commutes to 80%. Here, it's all about personal, except the last line that I did my, here I decided that shouldn't have been there. I did my IT at university this. If you think that university carries a name, it carries a weightage, add the name of the university. Otherwise, don't add that also. Now at 9, what you did, at 11 years, what you did, no one was interested in knowing. The interviewer is simply getting bored of what you're speaking, and he's simply going to put across to whatever you spoke. Correct answer could be, I am a CSE graduate with internship experience in tech support and a passion for a career in this role. So I am a graduate, and from where he has graduated, he told, and he has a passion for this career. Now, instead of telling the entire history, you could have used simple one word, passionate about this. I come to the industry with my skills in Java, SQL, and wish to learn how to utilize that alongside my soft skill so that I can build a career path in that field. Another example can be, I am a commerce graduate with where I have cleared my master's in finance and international business. I am very passionate about training and teaching I am very passionate about teaching and training, and I have come to this industry to use my skill, my knowledge to enhance and make other person learn. So I want to build my career as a trainer in soft skill or behavioral training. It needs to be very, very short and precise. Yes, definitely he was a fresher. He didn't add that. You can also add that, yes, I'm carrying an experience of these many years, or currently I'm working at this position, this designation, those things also you can add. Myself, thus I belong from city of Lakes, Udaipur. See how smartly he has told that I belong from city of Lakes. Smart answer. Belong from city of Lakes, Udaipur. I'm pursuing my undergraduation in IT from CSI Institute. I did my intermediate from state boards with 72% and high school from state board with 75%. This line is not going to be added when you will have experience. This is for the freshers, when you are just entering into the corporate world, when you are just entering to start your career. That time you can use this. My hobby is playing shuttle, a passion. I'm passionate about music and teaching kids. My strength is to take initiative in work independently. Good leadership style, adaptable to any kind of situation, is instigated group and helping tendency. My weakness is I'm not comfortable until I finish my work. in the given time and over friendly in nature. How smartly he has used his strength as a weakness. He told that he could have told that I always accomplish my work on time, but everyone asks for the weakness. So he's used this as a weakness, that my weakness is only that I'm not comfortable until and unless I don't finish up the work. And with this, he has told about his friendly nature, that he's a social person. He has told that I am over friendly nature. My short-term goal is to get the job in reputed company, and my long-term goal is to become more responsible and knowledgeable personality and on respectful position on the company. This is for the beginners, for the freshers who are who are planning to enter into the corporate world. Now, if you are an expert, if you are a professional, from here you can remove many things like strength, weakness. You can add when someone is going to ask you that. Definitely your short-term or long-term goal you can add. You can remove how much you have secured in high school or state board. These things you can remove when you will carry some experience along with you. I hope this is clear how to answer smartly about who you are. Yes. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the things which we left in the last class. That is skills you need to crack an interview. A lot of skills are needed. Like in the previous classes, we have discussed about some of the skills like research the company, analyze job description, brush up your basics, prepare for test, prepare for potential interview questions, be punctual, be attentive, speak clearly, maintain good body language, make eye contact, rehearse explaining your resume, and know what and when to speak. These all things we did in the last session. Now today we are going to talk about few more skills which are required for cracking, for clearing your interview. Next skill says customize your answer. Now recently we just saw answer where the person started with I was 9 years old, then I got this thought, then I planned to do this in the school. The first time when I used the computer, I got another idea. So you don't need to say all these things. You need to be smart in answering the question, and you should know how to customize your answer, how to make the answer, how to present your answer in such a way what interviewer is asking, what interview wants to know and listen from you. When asked about a particular skill set, do not have one standard answer for every company you apply to. According to the company's need, job description, your roles, your responsibilities, person taking the interview, the answer is going to differ with some changes. The broader headlines are going to be same, but the way of presenting it, but the way of speaking it is going to differ. So make sure you are not saying same answer, same lines to all the companies in which you are applying for the job. You need to answer smartly, first researching about what your job role is going to be, what qualities, what specification, what responsibilities that job carries, and what the interviewer is looking for in me as a right choice. How should I present myself? What should I include in my presentation that makes me right choice, that makes me fit for the interview? Instead, list out the ways your skill can add value to the role and company for which you are interviewing. You need to list out all your skills. The very important thing when you start preparing for the interview is you need to know all the skills which you have, so that when you are answering the question, you can relate those skills to the roles of the company, to what the interviewer is looking for. You can relate your own skills with that, and you can present your answer in that way. So make sure you customize your answer as per what the interviewer is looking for. You cannot give same answer to all the people, all the interviewer taking your interview in all different companies. All companies will have different requirement, different job roles and responsibility. Maybe the designation which you will get is same in both the companies, but the roles and responsibilities are going to differ in both the organizations. So make sure you customize your answer. You know how to speak, what to speak, and how to relate your skills with the job role, job title. Next is mention your strength. Don't forget to mention your strength. That is very important. You will get several chances in the interview to talk about your strength. How? When person is asking you, tell me about yourself. Why you are right choice for the organization? What are your strengths? Why you want, uh, what makes you best suitable for this job? What makes you different from other 20 candidates standing outside for the interview? So when you have been asked these type of questions, so these are simply giving you the chance to tell about your strength, to tell about your skills, your power, your strength, which makes you different and unique in your own personality. But you should know about your own strength and your weakness. You will get several chances in the interview to talk about your strength. This can be in the classic, what are your strengths question, or you can be asked about a particular project listed on your resume. So there are many different ways by which the interviewer is going to find out about your strength, like in which area you have strength, what all strength you have. So be confident and informative when talking about your strength, but do not arrogant or boastful. Do not be arrogant. Be very confident so that the other person should believe that yes, these are your strength. You are not telling anything randomly. You're not picking anything randomly and just presenting it as your strength. So make sure whatever you are speaking, you have a justified answer for that. For example, if you're talking about you are a critical thinker, or you are a good problem solver, you have good problem solving skills, you are a good leader. Try to give relevant example to support your strength. You know, any person can come and say that I'm good in this, I'm good in this, but you need to have some supportive answer by which you can say that yes, these skills, I have demonstrated these skills in my past organization. If it comes to be a problem solver, that you are good in solving conflicts, creative thinker, then you need to bring into the interviewer's notice any of the project where you have used these strength, where you have used your strength to deliver best result, so that you have some points validating your strength. So make sure you always mention your strength, but along with the necessary supporting things which supports that yes, you carry the strength. Now, being you cannot strength should be genuinely the strength. What all strength you can include? What all strength you can include? See, this is something you need to know about yourself, right? So strength can be your creative problem solving. Strength can be your creativity, your flexibility, your focused. taking initiative, being punctual, meeting the things on deadline, dedicated. You are dedicated with the things you are doing. So you stay dedicated. So all these things act as your strength, and you need to tell that very confidently. The self control you have, you are a continuous learner, you have you are always taking initiatives, you're always taking initiatives in your project. These all add to your strength, and when you add these strengths, you should have some supportive answers, supportive your past experiences to support your strength. So with this, we have finished the two new points like which are required to crack the interview. Now we are left with only 5 more points, which we are going to discuss in the next session of interview skills. So if you have any doubt related to whatever we have done till now, you can ask. Any doubts? Is how to present your strength. Okay, see, whenever they will ask you about presenting your strength, you can start with that I am a creative person. Now the question will be where you have shown creativity. Anywhere, any person can come and say that I am a creative person. So you need to come up with the example, your past project where you have shown your creativity. You can take that example that when I was in my college life, I got an opportunity to work as an event manager, and I came up with these experience. I came up with there you can say that yes, in my past company when I was working as an event manager, or in my college when I was working as an event manager, this is the new thing I bought, and that was being praised by all the people. So there you are using your creativity, you are showing your creativity with your actions, not with the words. That is how you need to use those things. Any other doubts? Okay, so now we'll see you in next 10 minutes with the last session lined up for the day. And the last session is goal setting. Right. We are going to discuss about the goal setting.